Alright folks, so you are watching this a little bit at a different time than everybody else, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get this camera to stay steady. Now if you're watching this, it probably means you didn't catch it last night or the night before, and so you're just catching up, which is cool. So we're just having an informal getting ready. And if you want to skip ahead the next few minutes, I really wouldn't blame you. We'll be starting, about 6 minutes from now, so I'd just go ahead and skip ahead to that. This stuff's going to be boring. Let's see. Hey, April?
Yes.
It is live, just FYI.
Yeah.
But no need to come in for like 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and share the link to the right places and just start gathering people in for class time. So that's cool. And we actually have a special surprise today. We have some special stuff happening. I want to try my best to help make you guys as popular as possible with your 21 Pilots loving friends. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Alright, we should start to see some people showing up. Welcome. It's a little bit early, that's why I'm kind of like making sure everything's set to go. But I will be there in just a sec. We'll get started in a couple of minutes here. And I got two surprises for you guys today, actually. I think it's going to be pretty fun. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Everything going well, people? Yeah, like I said, I'm just getting stuff prepped, and I'll be over in just a sec, and we will get started. I know it's maybe a little bit boring right now. Sorry. But we will get started soon, so good to see you guys. Yeah. I feel like right now you're getting kind of like a picture in just normal life, sort of. Kind of like, yes, this is about 80% of what doing the Pop Song Professor means. It's checking text stuff and editing video. Not very glamorous, but oh well. Alrighty. Just as a quick preview while I'm setting all the tech stuff up, this is kind of today's notes. It's not as many notes as usual, and that's because I've written blog posts on all of these songs, and so I felt less need to take as many notes, just because I feel like I'm more experienced with a lot of these songs, and I've made more videos on these songs than many of the others. I remember when Blurryface first came out, I found it illegally. Not proud of that, but also it had to be done. On like Dropbox or something, and then I explained every single one of the songs within the next week at least on my blog. This was before I had YouTube, and that was what kind of first helped me get into this whole thing. I guess there were a couple of songs like Can't Feel My Face and Cheerleader by Omi were kind of the the two songs that really sparked the blog and kind of kept this whole project going to get to the point where it is now to you guys. But Blurryface was kind of like one of the big starts. So that was really fun. Some of you might be like, what is he talking about? Blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. We're going to get started in just 1 minute here, and then I will have 2 surprises for you, and then we'll jump into our quiz, talk about the album, and do the songs and Q&A. So right now I'm just making sure all the tech stuff is set. I'm going to get back to that real quick. I'll be back in a sec. Hey, babe.
Yeah?
You want to come on over?
Let me brush my hair.
Okay, cool. Okay, real quick. Paris, you say, are we going to play Shoot? Are you talking about Kahoot? Because if Kahoot, yes. You guys are asking questions about April. April, they're asking questions about you.
I want to know if you're going to play Shoot.
Yeah, what is Shoot? Oh, it is Kahoot. She meant Kahoot. Cool. Yes, we are going to do Kahoot. We are going to have a quiz, and Eternal Glory will be the prize of one lucky person.
Eternal Glory.
Don't make fun of my Eternal Glory.
That's like when my mom was like, if you do what I want, I'll give you a big hug. Oh, gee. My dream.
April has a very sarcastic sense of humor. I don't know if you could hear what she said, but she thinks that Eternal Glory is a dumb prize. She's wrong, obviously.
It's like brownie points. Nobody actually wants that.
People love brownie points. I have 1 million of them.
Did you ever get any brownies for them?
Not yet. I'm going to cash them in later, though. You have to cook them for me.
What? I never gave you any brownie points.
Okay, it is 9:01, so we have to get started.
Okay, fine.
We are a minute late, people. That's because April had to comb her hair.
Look really bad.
Hey.
Okay, what do I do?
Alright, the camera's right there.
Hi.
Yes, so surprise number 1. April is going to join us for the first 15 minutes of this class.
Did you get me a chair?
Yes, I did get you a chair. It's this one that I'm sitting in, the comfortable one. That was a close one. Okay.
Can you still fit?
I can still fit. Alright. Yes, it's been a while since April's been here, so that's kind of sad, but she's here tonight. And I really appreciate you guys, and so I begged her and cajoled her and thought that, you know, it would be kind of fun to have her on for our first class, or our last class, sorry. But yeah, tons of people are saying hi.
Hi, everybody.
Catherine Weaver says, no, we do not like brownie points.
Good. Smart. Very smart people.
Brownie points are great. Okay, Eternal Glory is better, though, right? Hi, you're so pretty. Yay, hi, April, hello, April, hi, April, hello, April, hi, April, hello, you're so beautiful, hi, April, hi.
I didn't look
You're so
this good
beautiful,
before I
April.
brushed my hair, so.
Oh man, you guys are so nice to my wife. That is so nice of you guys. There's no way you could be nicer to me. Alright, well, April is here, and she's kind of the brains in some respect. Sometimes there are songs that are too confusing for me, and so I go to April. And that happens rarely, but sometimes she will come to me to explain things like how to open a jar. So it works out in the end.
Wait, I come to you so I can explain to you how to
No,
open
you
a jar?
want me to explain to you how to open a jar, or you want me to explain it for you, you want me to do it for you.
I'm really bad at opening water bottles, like the water bottles you get a million of every day, you know, and so I'm trying to open them, and I've, like, torn the skin off my thumb trying to open these, so Cliff has to do that for me.
Alright, so April's the first surprise announcement. People are saying you guys are my goals in life and marriage goals.
We're bad goals, guys.
We're bad goals.
We're-
Don't
have
have us
better
as,
goals.
Yeah, have better goals than us.
Who's the good goals? The guy who plays Jim on The Office and his
Yeah.
wife, they could be goals.
The real actors, not just the characters.
Yeah, not Jim. They can be goals too, though.
Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into things, people. And I want to start off with the second announcement, or the second surprise. And the second surprise for you guys is I want to make you extremely popular with your friends. So essentially what I want you to do is the links to these classes. I want to give permission to you guys to share those with people that you know personally. So don't give them to random strangers. Don't put them on like Reddit or Twitter or like openly on Facebook. But if you guys want to share these links to these classes with special friends of yours, I'm okay with that.
Special friends.
Your friends are cool. But essentially, I've been so grateful to what you guys have done by being here, the discussion you've added, and just the part that you guys have played into this. And so, I mean, essentially what I was thinking is that after this class is over, I'll have access to these videos, and I'm still going to have it up on my website, and people can still pay to like come in and look at these old videos. One person actually already did, which was pretty cool. But I wanted to give you guys the same ownership rights that I have. So if you can share them with your friends, that's totally cool. Please do. The only request then is just that don't like share them publicly with the world, just so that we don't have like a million people coming in here. Let's just kind of keep it with like our close friends and stuff. But I think that'll be pretty cool, and I hope that that makes you guys kind of popular with your TOP friends. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into thing number 1. Today we're talking Blurryface, people. And it is time for a Kahoot. Whoa, there goes my thumb. That's a thumb. Cool. So we're going to do this Kahoot, and I don't know if you'll have too much to say about the Kahoot, April, but you should chime in. Yeah, well...
I'll make guesses.
Only if you were sure you don't know. Just be very careful what you guess. We don't want to give anybody an unfair advantage because you know... Because April has an amazing memory, actually.
I do, but I don't know that much about 21 Pilots. So.
It's about Blurryface, though. I think you would know more about this. April should play. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, go grab your phone real quick. You can play. This will be fun. Claire, you're brilliant. April, hard time with the chair.
Yes.
Okay, in the meantime, you guys, we'll start you logging in. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started. We've kind of been off to a slow start today, but that's because I just wanted to relax and have fun with you guys and chill out a little bit. We're going to keep things moving. Don't worry about that.
Can I use my computer?
You can use your computer for sure, babe. So here's Kahoot.it with the game pin 6674812. Guys, go ahead and log in, and we will get going on today's Kahoot quiz to see who is the greatest 21 Pilots fan of all time. April is also logging in.
Okay, what do I do?
Go to Kahoot.it. It's all on the screen right there.
Oh, see if I was paying attention.
Alright, so we got 10 people on there. We should have a total of
What's the
like
game
13, I think, if everybody decides to play. 6674812. You got 2 8s in there. There you go. Alright.
Good?
Yes, go for it. Alright, quick question for you guys. Can you guess which one is April? Which one is April? I'll let you guess, but it might be kind of obvious. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, though, and we'll see what... well, okay, somebody may have just gotten it right. We'll see. We'll reveal all at the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, then. What song comes first on Blurryface? Which song comes first on the track list? Is it Fairly Local, Goner, Heavy Dirty Soul, or Stressed Out? Remember, April, the faster you answer, the more points you get.
I'm not even sure I got it right.
Okay. Don't say that, that's embarrassing. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Alright, and the answer is Heavy Dirty Soul. Oh, April got it wrong.
I am in 15th place.
Ah, April, that's sad.
That's
Justice M in the lead. All right. 13 Reasons Why in second. I've heard of that show. What song has... It's a show on Netflix. Wow. What song... Or maybe it's a movie on Netflix? Anyway, what song has the lines, I'm inside out, you're underneath? Sorry for the color commentary on Netflix.
I don't know. I'm just going to pick this one.
Poor April. It's a series, that Polly says. Okay, cool. I was right.
Wow, I'm in 15th place still.
April, you're still in 15th place.
Tied for last.
All right, April. Which one did you guess?
Polarize.
Oh, no. Everybody knows that's not right.
I don't even know what that song is, but the lyrics didn't sound familiar, so I picked it.
My wife is not as big of a 21 Pilots fan as I thought she was, people.
Goner?
It was Goner, yeah. Okay, this is bad.
Steven, you are beating me by 1.
All right. 13 Reasons Why in the lead. All right. Next, choose the correct line. So 3 of these lines are incorrectly quoted. One of them is correct. They're all from Blurryface. Is it scared of my own insecurity? The ghost of you is close to me. I know it's hard somewhere, but we go where they won't go. Which one of these 4 lines is correctly quoted? One of these is really tricky. You guys are going to be mad at me at the end of this because one of them is very tricky.
Like one on this
It is. A ghost of you is close to me. And a lot of you got that right. I am really impressed because I thought scared of my own insecurity was pretty tough because the actual line is scared of my own immaturity. So it's the same cadence and rhythm. Sithali jumps into the lead. All right, this is the most exciting one so far, I think.
I'm in 14th, if anybody cares.
On this album, Tyler refers himself by 2 male nouns. Select one. Is it guy, bro, boy, or man? What?
How am I supposed to know this?
Oh, April. You were such a good April.
If anybody cares, I guessed man, so you should guess the same as me. We can lose together.
The answer is man. Okay, and man and boy, actually, because he's lane boy. The industry tells him stay in your lane boy, and he tells people don't mess with the message man. But there's some contention about that. Some people say don't mess with the message man, like comma man, referring to the person as man. So it's a little bit, people are kind of arguing in different ways there. All right, so what place are you in so far, April?
13th.
13th for April. All right, Sithali's still in the lead.
I will win yet.
Oh, babe, you're precious.
Oh, no, I don't know this one.
On Blurryface, Polaroids most closely means which of these?
None of these make sense, though.
20 seconds. Well, it won't actually be 20 seconds for you guys because of the lag, but this one's a little bit of a trickier, deep one. I feel like this one is when it's kind of like an essay answer, multiple choice, sort of. The answer is sorting out your own mind and who you are. Gosh, how did you guys do that? That's amazing. Shark Lover, I am so sorry. I do not know how you got logged out of Kahoot. That is really weird, and I have no explanation.
Kahoot is telling me not to give up.
April, don't give up. You can do this.
That's what you tell people who are failing.
Which songs do many of the Clique... Steven's only 27 points behind you, by the way. Which song do many of the Clique think is about Columbus, Ohio, but really isn't? Is it Fairly Local, Hometown, Goner, or Tear in My Heart?
Hooligan, at least you're beating me.
April, you can get this one right at least, right?
I guessed one that sounded good.
It is Hometown.
Oh, no.
You guessed Fairly Local, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Oh no, April.
Am I like the only person who guessed it wrong?
You and one other person.
Buddies for life.
April's made a new friend. And Christina jumps into the lead. Oh my goodness, the pressure and the stress going into this is about to kill me. Who is tearing my heart about, people? Is it Josh Dunn, Jenna Joseph, Tyler's mom, Zach Joseph? Catherine asks, wait, what is Hometown about then? And we will actually get into that today if you guys so wish. Angela bragging about that second place. Brownie points, man. The answer is Jenna Joseph. Did you get that one right, April?
Yep.
Amazing, okay.
The only female on there who could possibly be his wife.
Let's see what the final answer is. Christina, followed closely by Angela and Justice M. Very impressive work, everybody. Justice, my mouse slipped on question 2. I hate it when that happens. I am so sorry. We've got Sithali and Kashoot. That must be Paris, or was that me? I don't know. Anyway, that's super cool, guys. Congratulations, April. In the post-game analysis, how would you say you felt about your performance?
I was not expecting to do well, so I achieved my expectations.
What place did you get?
13th.
Hey, you know that's better than your score in Mario Kart.
Shut up. No, I get 12th in Mario Kart.
Well,
that's better.
But this wasn't last. All right, guys. So April's been hanging out with us for the quiz. If you want to peace out of here, you can, but you're welcome to stick around to talk about themes and stuff.
I'm a peace out.
All right. I think April has a house show to watch, yes?
Well, I should be doing homework, so you can tell people that's what I'm doing.
I'm afraid that that's not the way live streaming works. I'm afraid everybody just heard you. All right, people. Let me get back into the comfortable chair. April, thanks. All right, so April's gone, and we are going to get back into this, people. Let me pull up your chat. We've got some interesting conversation, I think, starting to boil up about Hometown, and I think that's going to be a really interesting song to talk about tonight. As always, I'm going to give you the basic overview of all of the songs, and then you guys can request specific songs to get into. You know, tonight's the last class, and I don't want it to end, so usually I'm like, 30 to 45 minutes is how long class usually lasts, but we might go a little bit longer tonight depending on how things go. So I'm actually going to shut this door real quick just to make sure we don't have as much background noise. And let's get to it. So, first things first, we've got the album. Okay, so as a whole, Blurryface was released in 2015. It was right at the beginning of the summer, and I remember this because I had just started the CliffordStummy.com blog, and that's where I would just explain a song in a blog post. And that was really fun, but it was also it's slow at first. Not a lot of people wanted to read what I had written, but then I started explaining Blurryface, and tons of people started reading it. Over 1,000 a day, which I thought was really cool. It's gotten a lot bigger since then, which has been a really cool experience. But Blurryface really helped to kind of jumpstart my experience with explaining songs. And it's ironic because car radio actually jump-started my whole desire to explain songs, because it's about how songs on the radio are meaningless sometimes, and they keep you from thinking deep questions and challenging yourself. And so I started listening to car radio, and it challenged me to want to explain songs. And it's been something I've never regretted. It's just been wonderful. But Blurryface is 2015. And I don't have the one-for-one correlations with me right now, but I want to go ahead and pull it up with you guys. The Blurryface cover is an interesting piece of artwork, because if you'll notice, they have patterns in all of these different circles. And each of these circles refers to a different song on the album. Now, I think that there might be some significance to which songs are there, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up a quick... I'm going to show you guys how to figure out which ones are which. You might have already figured this out by now, in which case, cool review, right? Because teachers are nothing if not good at reviewing things. But let's see. Oh no. Did they change it on me? People, this is shameful. Let me just double check on something real quick. Yeah, weird. Okay. Well, in any case, it looks like 21 Pilots changed the thumbnails for their songs on their website. I'll show you what I'm seeing right now. And we may just skip past this on to something else, but they re-uploaded the videos differently. They used to have... Well, this is 21 Pilots topic. Let's actually go to 21 Pilots itself, and we'll stay away from the topic. Maybe that'll help us. Perhaps, did they post it to Fueled by Ramen? Sorry that this is a little bit slipshod here, people. We'll get back into this, though. Have no fear. Yeah, here we go. Here's the patterns. And so, if you'll look at the Blurryface album cover, we've got a couple of different patterns here. Now, when you open up the case, you actually see Blurry's face there. And so you can see where, like, these patterns are actually kind of based around his face. And I think a good picture of that's right here. Where those colors kind of represent his face, and you can see his eyes right there, and kind of his nose. And so this overlay of these patterns kind of gets placed over that, and so then you get this. Now, what do each of these mean? Well, we've got kind of the weird stripey one in the top left corner, and I'm not seeing... Yeah, this is very, very small. Let's try to zoom in a little bit. Cool. So this one right here, what does it correlate to? It doesn't look like it's one of the main ones here. Doubt is an important one, and it's this one right in the middle. Then we've got Polarize, which is this one right here. And then we've got, let's zoom out because that pattern's a little bit hard to see that way. I don't think We Don't Believe What's on TV makes it on here. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong, folks. But anyway, I think Message Man does not show up here either. Hometown, I don't believe makes it on either. Unless it's... Actually, it might be this one right here. There's Not Today, and Goner has the birds on it, and Goner's right there, but it's a negative. And so you can see that a lot of these do correlate. I believe that this one's fairly local. I think Stressed Out's on here somewhere. And a lot of the different and most important singles on the album make it onto the album cover. Now, why are they there? I once made a theory about how maybe they tell a specific story, and Tyler pulled 9 songs in particular off of there. There might have even been a discrepancy where one didn't correlate to a song's pattern, which I don't remember how that turned out. But in any case, the album cover is highly symbolic, particularly with Blurryface there. Now, the fact that Tyler's songs make Blurryface is an interesting commentary, because it's almost like he's saying that without Blurryface, this record wouldn't have been possible, but Blurryface also colors the things that he does. And so you can see where like this concept is so important. Now, let's talk about Blurryface for a second. Blurryface is Tyler's alter ego. It's like another version of Tyler kind of stuck in with him inside his body or inside his mind. And Blurryface particularly makes him do things that he doesn't want to do and keeps him from doing things that he does want to do. It's very much like what Paul said in Romans about, you know, the things that I want to do, I do not do, and the things that I don't want to do, I do. And so Blurryface is that evil force in his life that causes depressing thoughts or evil actions. And that's essential, or disbelief or doubt. And so that's what the Blurryface album is about. It's about dealing with this persona. Now, I think a lot of the clique has a lot of theories about Blurryface, and I don't think I would actually gainsay many of them as long as you believe in this essential idea of what it is. So, let's see. Let's look at the particular songs. I've got kind of a list of these. A Heavy Dirty Soul, he asked the question, can you save my heavy dirty soul? And there he's essentially asking, you know, God, can you save me from who I am? Can you save me from Blurryface? And you guys are posting some really great comments, and we're going to have a comment break in just a second, so keep posting those. I'll just go through these songs and some themes, and then we'll chat, and then we'll jump into the song specifically. In Stressed Out, he's talking about growing up and being insecure about who he is as an adult, and feeling that pressure, you need to make money. Ride, he's thinking too much. And this kind of refers to something that I've talked about a lot with my English literature friends, and it's called analysis paralysis. Have you ever thought about something and then... Sorry. Have you ever thought about something and then thought about how you were thinking about it, and then thought about how you thought you were thinking about it, and then, you know, so forth and so on, so that you're thinking about thinking. And that, when you get to that point where you realize, I'm not actually thinking anything important at this point, is called analysis paralysis. Or analysis paralysis can mean when you're overthinking things so much that you don't make a decision. And so both of those, it's kind of what Ride is about. He's been thinking too much. So he asks some good questions, but he realizes that he also needs to not stress so much and just kind of take his time on his ride. And then Fairly Local is about Blurryface and kind of realizing Tyler's own mistakes and who he is and kind of the failures he's had. Tear in My Heart is about his wife Jenna and how she is the tear in his heart, like she makes him feel insecure, but it's actually a good thing because she helps him to heal and to be stronger. Alright, I'm seeing some comments that it's freezing and that we're experiencing some lag. It looks like it might unfortunately be... freezing. Okay. We have multiple people complaining about the freezing. Yes, so we do have a bad connection. If you're watching this after everything's over, it's weird that it says bad connection because I have perfect connection on my computer. Are you guys still experiencing bad connection? How's it going? Let me know. Keep me updated, folks. Okay. It's not freezing. It's good now. Seeing a lot of good reports. Okay. It being really blurry. You know, maybe Blurryface is attacking us. That's kind of just a dumb joke. Okay, it looks like it's doing a little bit better. Let's hop back into this. You know, the freezing, we'll see what happens. But I will definitely watch your comments and figure out what's happening as best I can and try to, adjust what I'm doing. All right. Tearing My Heart is about Jenna, kind of making him feel insecure, but in a good way that makes him grow stronger. Lane Boy is about the music industry wanting him to be a certain kind of person and wanting him to write the kind of music that will get played on the radio, but he doesn't really want to do that because there are more important questions in life to be asked rather than just how can I be popular and famous and make money. The Judge, he's asking God to save him from his own sins. My soul's freezing, hell's hot for good reason, but Judge, you who make the decisions about what's right and wrong and who goes to heaven or what, can you save me? All right, in Doubt, he talks about how he needs God, and there really is some mention of doubt and how he sometimes doubts God, but he needs God to love him anyway. And then in, where did I put that? In Polarize, he talks about, the lyrics in Polarize are interesting because he talks about Polarize is taking your disguises and separating them out from truth and lies, and then figuring out who you really are, and so kind of figuring out yourself so that you can interact with the world successfully. Dallin, I think, asked what is happening, and essentially we're just going line by line, or not line by line, we're going song by song through the album, and we're just kind of giving the brief overview of each song. Then we're going to talk themes, we're going to have some discussion, and then we're going to hop into specific songs. All right, We Don't Believe What's on TV is a very tricky one, probably the most difficult to explain out of all of them, but it is a little bit about his aspirations in life and his goals, and then doing that with a special person. And I think that song, which song did I say was about identity? Polarize, yeah. I'm Not Me, Am I is right. But We Don't Believe What's on TV. It actually may not be about, I don't know, this is complicated and very tricky, but We Don't Believe What's on TV may not be about anybody in particular. There have been theories that it's about Josh, that it's about the fans, that it's about his mom, that it's about his wife. In fact, in one video he says, I wrote this song for my mom. I never imagined somebody crowd surfing to it, so he tells the crowd to push the crowd surfer to the back of the audience, which is pretty hilarious. I'm pretty fairly sure it's not about Josh. It could be about friends or supporting loved ones in general, but I just feel weird about it being about his mom. If you guys want to talk about We Don't Believe What's on TV, we can definitely jump into that. And yeah, let's see. Message Man. Let me real quick. Let me respond to Dallin just to make sure we can get him in on this. Cool. Sorry. All right. A little bit spotty for people. Oh, that is so unfortunate. We will soldier on. If you guys have specific questions, definitely comment those, and we will work with that. All right. Message Man, he's telling people who might want to interpret his songs or to figure out his lyrics to be careful. I always kind of felt like that song was a warning to me. And like he's telling me to be careful with his songs because interpret them is kind of like a high responsibility, and I might not understand them if I'm not a part of a certain group that they're meant to help. And I think that goes for any of you guys, lyrical theorists. But yeah, we'll see. Hometown, a lot of people believe that it was about Columbus, Ohio, when I think, in fact, it's about Earth. And it's about coming from a dark place. And so you kind of feel like he's singing this in space, and he's referring back to Earth where people make mistakes, and it's kind of a dark place, and there are demons and devils hanging out. Or it's just kind of from the same place that all humanity comes from. Then Not Today is Victory over Blurryface, though actually there's a little bit of contention about that one, and I'd love to hear your guys' personal theories about Not Today, but I think it is about Blurryface and saying that he's wrong. Goner wants God to heal him from all of this mistake, and so I feel like Fairly Local, oh, Dallin says that she's, okay. We got a little bit more bad connection. We'll see how this lag goes. We'll just take a quick pause. And then we'll get back into Goner. I don't know if any of you guys can see this right now, so this may be an awkward time to be watching this video. Okay, it looks like we are back in. Okay, cool. So with Goner, he's asking God to save him, to heal him from the Blurryface that's inside him. He's saying, I'm a goner. I'm a goner. He says that a lot. Like, without you, there is no hope. And in Fairly Local, it's where he talks about being Blurryface and realizing that he's got like this evil in his heart. And then in Goner, he wants God to take care of that. So it kind of comes full circle. The album comes back around. And it tells a really interesting story. It's definitely a concept album. It reminds me of Eminem's, what's the name of Eminem's character? Slim Shady, kind of like the dark side of him. Crybaby from Melanie Martinez, and Abel Tesfaye's character The Weeknd. It's like all of these artists have this in common, that they're dealing with like this evil inside their lives, and so you kind of wonder, like, if that many artists are singing about it, who's our Blurryface, Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these comments, and then we will jump into individual song explanations. So guys, feel free to go ahead and comment a song that you think we should look into more specifically when we get into this, and we'll go for it. Alright, comments. I think suffer from both of those. Lol, I've been thinking about a girl nonstop for like 2 weeks, and I haven't been able to make a decision on her. AR12 says. And I'm not sure what that was a reference to, but just people having issues. Yeah, the analysis paralysis, I think, is what you were talking about. And that's super relevant. Thinking about, crushes and things like that. Super liable to analysis paralysis. It's really blurry and it freezes from time to time. I thought that was a funny comment just because we're talking about Blurryface. Alright, so we made it past the freezing. What is happening? What song did you say was about identity? Polarize was the one that we were talking about, Kelly. Which, by the way, welcome back, Kelly. We missed you last week. Dallin is... Oh yeah, Dallin explained that she is actually a she, that Dallin is just a member of Panic at the Disco, or was, and so we will not refer to Dallin as he anymore. Alright, Paris, can you please explain your theory opinion on why Tyler specifically chose the word blurry to name his alter ego as to other similar words? I really want to know what you think. And other people upvoted that, or just, pointed at that question. And I think he actually explained it at one point, because he said that when he tries to look at this person, this Blurryface personality, and to try to figure him out and to analyze him and to meet him and to talk to him and try to figure out why he does what he does, it's always a little bit blurry. He's kind of always looking through a glass darkly, which is a scripture reference, which I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of influenced that as well. Looking through a glass darkly is kind of, there's a Bible verse that says, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then we shall see face to face. And it's talking about how when we actually meet God, we are going to know him, and we're going to have that relationship with him, whereas now it's we only see a little bit. We kind of see something that's blurry. And so I feel like Blurryface is kind of that blurriness in his life that keeps him from seeing God clearly, and I think that would be a really cool, if that is his explanation. But I know that the blurriness definitely, from what I've heard in an interview, is about just not being able to really catch sight of Blurryface and to really figure him out. So every time he looks at his face, he might see the rest of his body clearly, but the face itself is blurry. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about that too. After all, this is discussion, not just me preaching. Alright, Justice says, I thought We Don't Believe What's on TV was about Jenna. That makes more sense than a lot of other theories, and I definitely agree with you. And I would think it was about a Jenna every time, but there was a video where Tyler said that he wrote the song about his mom, but it could have been that he was referring to the song right before, so it's really iffy. Personally, I like the Jenna theory more than anything else, and it is a tough question. It really is. I feel like there was somebody mentioned a source to me where Tyler said that he had only ever written one song about his wife and that it was Tearing My Heart, but it might have been before he released We Don't Believe What's on TV, could be something like that. So I wouldn't rule out Jenna for We Don't Believe What's on TV, because I don't know why he would sell his mom's hair. He's also not a stranger to writing about his mom, because House of Gold is about his mom, so he seems to have a special relationship with his mother. After all, he was homeschooled for a large portion of his youth, so it would make sense. But then lines like where he talks about how, I used to want to die before I got old, but now I just might think twice, essentially, makes me think that it's more romantic, but it could also just mean about meeting anybody, so it could be about the clique in that case. Alright. We had some freezing, we made it through. Justice says, the way you describe Hometown makes me think of David Bowie's Space Oddity for some reason. And I should probably look into that a little bit more. Did I say polarize about his mom? I'm sorry, I said we don't believe what's on TV, not polarize. Alright. How do you type without looking at the screen? Laughing my ass off. Who was asked that? Sitlali said. And, you know, I actually practiced a lot. It's a super helpful skill. Alright. I'm not me, am I, says, blurry, you mother fricker. And isn't that kind of the anger we feel? Sort of like this visceral anger, like you, Blurryface, are keeping me from reaching the happiness that I feel I could have. Why are you doing this to me? I am so mad at you, I could almost swear at you. Or just plain old swear at you. Alright, when I listen to Message Man, I think Tyler's asking people to use discretion when talking about mental illness, suicide, and not say, I want to kill myself. Yeah, you know, that's a possibility too. I don't think I've looked into it that much from that angle, but it could be. Christina, it was perfect while you were waiting, but it started lagging again as soon as you started. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Okay, so we start to get requests here for which song we should talk about. I'm seeing The Judge, Polarize, Hometown, and Doubt. Fairly Local. I Love Heavy Dirty Soul. We Don't Believe Us on TV. Hometown. I think the only one that's been repeated so far is Hometown, so that one seems to be winning. And as for the cover art, it is also interesting that Tear in My Heart is in the middle, so if you rotate the red around, it touches all the songs except the one about his wife. Interesting. That is interesting. I saw one vid of We Don't Believe Us on TV where he said a lot of people think the song is about Josh, but it is not. But today it is. So possibly it is about multiple people. You know, I think he was being kind of silly and just kind of fun right there. And the lyrics sort of do fit it a little bit because he did have unique hair. And it talks about, you know, selling your hair. So I don't, you know, that makes sense that he would say, like, today it is about Josh. Tomorrow, who knows who it will be about. And that's part of the reason I think Tyler Joseph is so cool, because he has that sense of humor. And he's not like, oh, my songs are sacred. I must, you know, protect their deep meaning at all costs. He gives them to us to interpret and to enjoy. Shark Lover says, get Snapchat so we can talk, Clifford. Surprise, surprise. I do have Snapchat, but I don't use it ever because it's confusing and I don't get it. I do Instagram stories though, so that's fun. If you guys want to hit me up on Instagram, totally can. Clifford Stummy is just my name. It's pretty cool. Alright, maybe Tyler says the only song he wrote about Jen is Tear My Heart, but that doesn't mean she's not mentioned, right? Because We Don't Believe is not really about her. Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah, maybe she is just one of the people that is kind of referred to in there. Alright, Catherine says, Hometown! And then Justice says, not today. And the other people are like, not today, not today, not today. And then another not today. Kelly says, it seems like most songs have that central theme of God. It seems a big part and strength for TOP. And that is actually very true. I listed some of the most important themes from this album. Blurryface is a huge one. Depression, evil, and not just outwards evil, but evil from within yourself. And the kind of evil that you cause. We have family and friends are mentioned a couple of times, and We Don't Believe It's on TV and Tear in My Heart. God is definitely a huge part of this, and then in songs like Ride, Thinking is again a big one, something that was very, very common on Vessel, but it's not so much on Blurryface. Blurryface is definitely more about Blurryface, whereas Vessel was about what is kept in the vessel of our bodies, and that's our soul. Alright. People are saying not today. Not today. Also, someone made a theory about how when you cry and look in a mirror, your face is blurry face. Or is blurry, aka blurry face. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Could be. I think it could be about Jenna because I know some people who cut their hair for money, but I doubt it. Lol. Yeah, no, it's a possibility. Alright, Shark Lover, I need to talk to you about deep stuff, and that is the only social media I have. Unfortunately, I'm still not going to get Snapchat. You should really consider Instagram, though. Sorry. I just know that if I get Snapchat, it'll take me like 2 hours just to figure it out, and the conversation will be lame because I will be spending the whole time trying to figure it out. Alright. Catherine says that April be the tiebreaker. I don't think it was actually a tie. I think Not Today is winning, but I will ask April. Hey, April? Yeah? Do you want me to explain Not Today or Hometown more? Do you like the song? You want me to explain Not Today or Hometown?
I don't know either of those songs.
Just pick one.
What are my options?
Not today and hometown.
Didn't everybody want to know about hometown?
They voted for not today more so, but they also voted for hometown a lot.
I think you should do hometown.
Over not today, even though more people said to do not today?
I don't know.
Alright guys, you heard the wife. She said we have to do
Go with the
hometown.
People. Do what the people.
Nope, you already said hometown.
No.
You already said hometown. We will do both. We will do both. Somebody asked that. Why not both? April, I can't believe you made this decision. April's very bad at making decisions, and now she's slightly glaring at me from behind the door. Come here. They gotta see this. This is the face that April gives me when I make a mistake. Oh, come on. Come on. Alright, at least shut the door on your way out, unless you don't want to make it.
Rude.
She calls me rude. Her facial expression is like this. She's making it now. Oh my goodness.
Like what?
Like with the eye, like when you like squint your eyes. Can you guys see that? You kind of can. All right, she's actually gonna do it. Wow, she's so disapproving. My soul is crippled. Thanks, babe. Love you.
Love you more.
Alrighty. Sorry, guys, that was not on topic. You guys didn't pay $2 to watch that. But she's pretty great, so you don't waste any chance to hang out with her. Alright, so not today, and let me see. Let April be the tiebreaker. That was apparently a bad idea. All those theories. Hometown more. My mom won't let me have any other. Blotchy face. Nice one, Kelly. April high. Why not both? April high. She has decided. I'm glad you listened to your wife. Do both for sanity's sake. You're right. We're totally going to do both and more. But I thought it was, fun to get April in on that. Alright, I don't know why, but this morning when I was showering, I just started crying. Like I just felt this guilt, but I don't know where from. That's actually really interesting. For a while, particularly before I got married, I would wake up in the morning, especially if I got less sleep, I would just feel this guilt, and I wouldn't know where it came from either. It was just really weird. So I'm totally with you there, and the only thing I would suggest, and this could be Blurryface, it really could, and that's why I'm talking about it, is just, the only thing I would suggest is getting enough sleep is really helpful so that your mind is prepared to fight with Blurryface, because Blurryface is both a physical and a spiritual fight. And then praying. Honestly, those are the two things. And just getting started with your day, doing something. But alright. Anyway, people, you guys are all... Wait, somebody says, "Ah, love you more" in quotes. We must have said that. Oh gosh, that's gross. That is so gross. I'm not me, am I? Says, just wanted to get a little sneak peek of your life, Cliff. I was wondering, have you ever struggled with your mental health? And you know what? I don't really want to go into detail, but to some extent, yes. So just a little bit. Not nearly as much as I think a lot of people have, and so I don't really want to presume to know all the answers, but a little bit. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's move on to these songs. In Hometown and Not Today are the orders of the day. We're going to do Hometown first because that is what the April has required. And then we'll look at which one you guys want to do next. Alright, Hometown we've got coming up. Alright, so the hook starts, "My shadow tilts its head at me. Spirits in the dark are waiting. I will let the wind go quietly. I will let the wind go quietly." And if you watched my video about trees, which was one of the most, I think, important videos I've ever made. Honestly, that was... If I made a video like that every day, I would feel like a really good person, because it was a really good video. But because it was honest, and it was sincere. But in this one, "My shadow tilts its head at me," I think he's creating a setting, and that's something that I talked about in Trees, that Tyler Joseph is creating an environment for the story to happen in. So I don't think there's like a deeper meaning necessarily here right now, but I think he is saying, like, there's something deep happening. Or there's something going to happen, and we're setting this scene of my shadow tilts its head at me, so this other part of me looks at me, kind of like looking at me, trying to figure me out, and it's a little bit creepy. Verse 1, be the one to take my soul and make it undone. Be the one to take me home and show me the sun. I know, you can bring the fire, I can bring the bones. I know, you can make the fire in my bones and make it grow." Now, this is a reference to the story, I think it was Ezra. Maybe it was Nehemiah. I don't think it was Ezekiel. It could have been Ezekiel, but it's a book in the Bible, and maybe you guys can help me out with that part. But essentially, there was this valley of dry bones, and God was showing the prophet something. He wanted to show that, like, I have all power, and so he made the bones come up off the ground and clothed them in flesh and made an army out of it. Now, I think it was just a vision or something like that, or maybe it actually happened and then they all went away, or maybe God let them live, or I don't know. But anyway, God was showing his power, and he was saying, like, you don't have to be afraid, because I could make an army out of the dead bones of dead men. And so Tyler Joseph is saying, essentially, I am a dead man, and I need the fire from you, which is a reference to the Holy Spirit coming down in the New Testament. Justice M, Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14. Thank you. But yeah, he's saying, I want you to bring your Holy Spirit into my dead body and make me alive. And he's asking God to take my soul and be the one, take me home. Now in the chorus, where we're from there's no sun, our hometown's in the dark, where we're from we're no one, our hometown's in the dark. And I think he did this to kind of scare the clique a little bit, because a lot of people are like, oh, he hates Columbus. But we know that's not true, because he does special concerts there all the time. In fact, there's a big one happening very soon. And so he doesn't hate Columbus. But I think what he's talking about the hometown there is, I think he's talking about his hometown as a member of humanity. His hometown as a member, as a person. So essentially it's Earth. It's the evil part of Earth, and that's why he's calling it dark. We have the hook, and we have verse 2. Put away all the gods your fathers served today. So whoever you feel like you should be serving other than the real God, put them away and stay on track. And put away your traditions. Believe me when I say we don't know how to put the power back in our soul. We don't know where to find what was once in our bones. And so he's saying that people, we don't have the answers. And these idols and these traditions and these other gods, they aren't what's going to give us life. They're not going to give us the power and to give us that fire that was once in our bones. And that's essentially the message of hometown. I think it's interesting that he refers to my shadow tilts its head at me. The spirits in the dark are waiting. And I feel like the shadow could be a reference to Blurryface. The spirits in the dark, I don't think they're angels. I think they're demons in this case. In the Christian theology, there's only two types of spirits, demons and angels. Or, God himself. But essentially, I don't think angels would hang out in the dark in this setting, with like the feeling that the song gives you, this sort of like intense, looming, something big could happen. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some comments from you guys, and then we'll jump back onto the next song. I just realized there's a few times Tyler mentions the wind. Yeah, he mentions the wind, he mentions trees, he mentions cars. There's some things he keeps coming back to. The wind, I think... What did he say about it in Hometown? I will let the wind go quietly. I think he's just sitting back and kind of thinking for a second. I think the wind could be life moving on, but I don't have a direct theory on that. Alright. Or the wind could be a reference to God, and how God has presented himself as a gentle wind before. Let's look back at what you guys are saying. I just realized there's a few times Tyler mentions wind, trees made mercy, so home is faith. No, I think home is actually evil. Shadow tilts its head at me, spirits in the dark are waiting, I won't let them win, go quietly, be the one to take my soul and make it undone. I absolutely love how you can quote the Bible so easily. I'm a pastor's kid and I'm not as nearly as knowledgeable. We should have Bible studies. Sorry, off topic. Well, keep in mind, I'm not actually quoting the Bible, I'm just paraphrasing it. April has an excellent memory, and she is the one who could just quote the Bible straight away. You okay, babe?
I was saying, yes, I do have an excellent memory.
She's saying that she does have a good memory. April is nothing if not good at hearing a compliment. Alright. So continuing on. Guilt. Kelly says earlier, in reference to what we were talking about with guilt, guilt can be good if it propels you to say sorry when needed and do better. Shame, on the other hand, is when you think you are bad, keeps you stuck. Yeah, so it may not be guilt, it actually may be shame, and that's a fair point. Shame is not good. Alright, Dallin says, it's fine to make theories, I know, but does anyone else agree that people shouldn't make theories on Tyler and Josh self-harming? Not saying you did, just wondering. I don't think it's a terrible thing to make theories on them self-harming, and I don't think I ever have done that. But I do agree that we should be very careful. And it looks like Larissa might be agreeing with what that is. I think that telling stories, I think there are different, yeah, maybe no to theories, but yes to kind of asking the question. I wonder if they do. I haven't seen any proof, so I think that would be the main problem I would have with it. Wind represents the Holy Spirit, Angela says. That's interesting. Put away all the gods your fathers served today. Justice asks if that's a reference to Joshua 24. It very well could be. I like how we keep coming back to this topic of guilt with AR-12. Thanks, Kelly, but the guilt I felt weird because it was toward anyone, because I haven't wronged anyone. Maybe it's just because I feel guilty because I think about someone so much, but I can't go up to them. Could be that. Guilt can come from nothing too, though, and shame. Alrighty. Saying they will fight, throwing away your gods, and hometowns referring to Joshua 24:14. Yep, I think that you guys are right on that one. I'm not Catholic, so sorry for any mistake, but just the fact Satan was once an angel represents the Blurryface concept. I think you could be right there, yeah. And how we can have that kind of good and evil living inside of us at the same time, and that good and evil are sometimes not so simple to separate as we might think. Alright. Cool. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and jump on to Not Today. I think that this one is going to be a good one, especially because you guys all wanted it. But in Not Today, we hear, I don't know why, I just feel I'm better off staying in the same room I was born in. I look outside and see a world better off without me in it trying to transform it. Now, there are some competitive arguments about who this song is about, whether it's about God or about Blurryface. I think it's probably about a little bit of both. But I think it's reference to Blurryface. So, I don't know why, I just feel better off. So he's feeling like this hopelessness and this feeling of not wanting to go out there and try big, hard things. He doesn't want to go and try to transform the world. It seems like it'd be better off without him. So this could be a reference to suicidal thoughts. You are out of my mind. You aren't seeing my side. You waste all this time trying to get to me, but you are out of my mind. And this feels like this victory fight against Blurryface, saying, like, you don't have a place here, and you do not get to be a part of my mind. It's like he's coming at it very strongly. And I think that's powerful. I know that sometimes when I have thoughts that I don't want to have, confronting those thoughts and just kind of saying, no, you don't belong here, is something that I do too. So I could very much see where Tyler may be doing something like that here. Verse 2, listen, I know this one's a contradiction because of how happy it sounds, but the lyrics are so down. So he's acknowledging the fact that this is a sad song with happy music. It's okay though, because it represents, better yet it is, who I feel I am right now. And I love this part because he's like breaking the fourth wall and saying, yeah, I know you guys are listening to a song, but let me just break it down here for a second for you guys. Let me just explain the song in the song. He's saying, I sound happy, maybe, but I'm actually feeling kind of down. So like maybe I'm pretending to be happier than I actually am. And he's kind of letting us in on him a little bit, or just this fact that he feels conflicted. All right. Then we get into the chorus. Heard you say, not today. Tore the curtains down, windows open, now make a sound. Heard your voice, there's no choice. Tore the curtains down, windows open, now make a noise. And it's like he's coming out into the light, and he wants to be a part of that, and he wants to be free. And so he's stepping outside of this house that's keeping him. And so the song started with him saying, you've got me, and you're trying to like keep me a certain way, and trying to keep me from wanting to change the world. But no, I'm going to fight you. And so it starts with something bad is happening. Then he decides, before anything good happens, before he's felt like that, oh, I really want life to be good, he just says, no, I'm going to fight this. And then he gains from that the energy and the motivation to go and say, to tear the curtains down, windows open, now make a noise, and to win there. And then finally in the bridge he gets even more violent to Blurryface. Oh, don't you test me now, just because I play the piano. Doesn't mean I'm not willing to take you down. I'm sorry. And so it feels like he's saying, he's like being a little bit polite there, and saying, I'm sorry that I'm being so rude here, but really you've got to go. And he's referring to how like maybe it's not common to think that guys who play the piano are very tough, but he's saying, no, get out of here. And I really think that this really sounds like he's referring to compulsive thoughts, or to depressing thoughts, or suicidal thoughts, or just any kind of thought that he doesn't want to be in his mind. He's trying to shape his thought patterns and processes using this positive redirection and just complete confrontation to those thoughts, trying to get them out of his mind. And I think that it sounds to me like he's pretty good at this and like he has a strategy and a pattern. Or even like he's maybe talked to a counselor or looked it up online to see how to battle like compulsive thoughts or something like that, depressing ones of any kind. So I think that that's what Not Today is about, and I'm going to go ahead and look at your guys' comments. All right. Let's see. Looks like you guys had a cool conversation about Scars and the Grammys. Love the way Not Today addresses its own ambivalence. Yeah, that self-referential stuff is so good. Yeah, I remember people on Twitter were talking about that. Okay, so that was more Grammy stuff. Yeah, I like... Gotcha. I feel like people shouldn't talk about it since they clearly aren't comfortable bringing it up if they did. Okay, so Catherine says, I think he's fighting against Satan and God, and at one point he's giving in to Satan, but then he hears God say, no, it's not your day to go, aka not today. Yeah, it's a possibility. He could be in the chorus saying, heard you say, God, not today. So I tore the curtains down, and it's like he drew that in. Or it could be Blurryface saying, no, not today, you're not going to succeed today. And so Tyler's like, well, I'll show you. I'm going to fight you with my piano. Or something like that. But yeah, I like what you're saying, Catherine. And it looks like a couple other people like what you're saying as well. Reminds me of the Bible verses that talk about keeping your thoughts captive in Romans 12, Kelly says. And yeah, so take every thought captive, again, it's all paraphrasing, but it is taking these thoughts captive and fighting them. And honestly, it's amazing how much stuff in this song you can just draw, and in this album, you can draw directly to biblical references. It's incredible. As a person that does have self-harm scars, I would feel really uncomfortable if people start talking about them, but I don't know, that's just me. No, that makes sense, yeah. And it would be really weird to start talking about them if Josh and Tyler had them. I'm Not Me, Am I asks, so Tyler mentioned he tried to keep a journal, and he actually uses it to write songs, so I've always wondered how he comes up with such brilliant metaphors. And honestly, writing a journal is one of the best ways to deal with some of this stuff. I'm the kind of person where I don't just think thoughts very well, like I have to talk them through with somebody else, and so I'll annoyingly bring up things again and again and again, trying to get people to talk about them with me, or I need to go and journal them and write them down. And so a journal is an excellent place to gain that inspiration and to kind of sort through your thoughts and organize them, not only to fight and combat depressive thoughts and compulsive thoughts, but also to be able to create song lyrics and to kind of categorize and organize things to the point where you can condense them down into something that can be expressed as a thought. Alright, even though I think the song sounds victorious in both sound and lyric content, I think the reason that the lyrics are so down is the fact that he even has those demons to have to fight. And I agree with you there. I think that's a really, really good way of putting it. Could you discuss lyrical content in Goner? Alright, so guys, we are actually getting close to the point that I actually do have to quit for tonight, even though this has been wonderful. And I want to do a little bit of just straight up Q&A discussion time with you guys before we finish this up. But here's the question for you. What song would you like to be our last one of the night? So go ahead and comment that, and we'll get to it in a sec. Alright, other side has only felt weird after watching it 100 times. If T.O.P. releases an album at the end of this year, I hope we can have another live stream like this. I think that honestly would be pretty amazing. We'll have to see what happens. I imagine it would probably be a live stream open to everybody on the channel, but we could even have like a closed one in here and kind of go through the song itself. Or all of the songs like in the same way we're doing right now. I also have a feeling that if an album drops from 21 Pilots, speaking of which, some good friends of mine from this class actually showed that Tyler Joseph maybe is going to share a song called Whisperer soon. We shall see. Alright. But yeah, if a new album comes out, I'll probably explain every one in a video individually very quickly. Alright. So Tali and I agree. The horns, Kristen says, make it sound victorious, and I agree with you there. Justice is a longtime journaler, and that's impressive. I've never been able to journal that consistently. I usually only journal when I have a problem that I feel I can't solve any other way. Alright, so I'm hearing a lot of Goner would be a good finish. Some Doubt, Goner, 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 Doubt, Doubt, Message Man, Doubt, Doubt, Goner. I would vote for Message Man or Doubt. The Whisper thing is just based on one of Tyler's recent pick on Insta. Yeah, I'm Not Me, Am I? Actually, when he released Heathens, it was a very similar picture, actually, and it had just the word Heathens on it, too. So that's why some people are thinking that this could be the way he announces new songs. And it's Whisperer. Wait, Catherine says, "Oh, I love Whisper. It's an amazing song." Wait, how do you know the song? Have you listened to it? If you have, please explain. How do you love Whisper? Because if it's out there, I need to listen to it. Okay. That was how I got into the class. Doubt means so much to me, even though they're both about God. Again, I don't want it to end. If Tyler used all these verses to inspire his lyrics, he has to be so very knowledgeable, or he kept that Bible very close to him, which to me shows him fighting back. Does that make sense? Yes, that makes a ton of sense. He knows his Bible really, really well. Goner, oh, I love the song. Message Man, Goner. Whisper is a song. Your analysis of Heathens literally blew my mind. I am happy that I could do that for you. Can you guys still see me? Something's telling me that my live stream is offline, but I think that it's working. Let me just make sure. Okay, so yeah, Whisper's a song. It is on No Fun Intended. Oh, okay, obviously I need to go check that out. Because he says Whisperer in the caption, not just Whisper. Okay, and we got Bad Connection. Can you guys see me? I don't know. Bad connection. Oh wait, sorry. Law. Only on YouTube. Alright, as soon as we get this connection back, we are going to go... Okay, so actually some of you guys aren't having a problem. Oh, okay. Cool, well if you guys aren't having a problem, then we will just march on here. Good. It's weird. It says bad connection on my phone right here. Now it doesn't, so we'll just keep moving on. Good stuff. Alright, so... Oh, Goner or Doubt? Goner or Doubt? Let's do Doubt briefly, but I want to do Doubt as our big one because it is a very good one to end on just because it's the end of the album. So let me pull that up, and this is what we're going to do, people. Oh, this is sad. This is going to be our last 2 songs of this series. Okay, so Doubt. Scared of my own image, scared of my own immaturity, scared of my own ceiling, scared I'll die of uncertainty, fear might be the death of me, fear leads to anxiety, don't know what's inside of me. And he comes at it rapid fire like, there is so much to be afraid of, and there's so much that I'm struggling with. And so you get this feeling that he's overwhelmed by his own demons. And he's saying, don't forget about me even when I doubt you. And he's just telling that to God. He's saying, it is my doubt and my fear that I'm struggling with, and God, please protect me. Please take care of me here. Temperature is dropping. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can see this ever stopping. Shaking hands with the dark parts of my thoughts. You're all that I've got. And so really he's saying that, yeah, he is friends with Blurryface, and he's spending time with Blurryface. And that is just a terrible, terrible experience for him. Repeating simple phrases could be, trying to fight back those depressive thoughts. Someone wholly insisted wants the markings made on my skin to mean something to me again. So he's talking about his tattoos and how they mean something to him as a Christian. Hope you haven't left without me. That's to God. Don't forget about me is how he ends the song. So that's Doubt. Essentially it is to God. And let's jump into Goner. Alright. I'm a Goner. Somebody catch my breath. I'm a Goner. Somebody catch my breath. I want to be known by you. I want to be known by you. I'm a Goner. Somebody catch my breath. So essentially he's saying he's losing his breath. Perhaps he's dying. Perhaps he's just amazed. Perhaps he's just having a difficult time. But he wants somebody to catch him. And who is it going to be? Who has the power to catch him? That's the question we're going to find the answer to. Though I'm weak and beaten down, I'll slip away into this sound. The ghost of you is close to me. I'm inside out. You're underneath. And this ghost of you is the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Ghost, who's one of the 3 members of the Trinity, who supports believers in the faith here on earth. So the Holy Spirit actually is supposed to, in Christian theology, inhabit the believer. So what Catherine just said about, I think Goner's about the Holy Spirit, I think you're exactly right. Alright, verse 2, I've got two faces, blurry is the one I'm not. I've got two faces, blurry is the one I'm not. I need your help to take him out. And this is where the song really comes to the big pivotal point. Like, yes, there is my blurry face, and I hate him, and I want to get rid of him. Please get rid of him for me. And he's asking God to do that. So he's tried a lot of things, or he's talked about a lot of things. He said, he has this relationship with Jenna that's very helpful. He's talking about, let's see, the judge. He's asked for help. He's talked about music. He's talked about Ryder, where he's trying to think through things, stressed out. He's talking about the stress. He's acknowledged his own messed upness and fairly local. Hometown, he's talked about his messed upness too. A lot of this is about how messed up he feels he is. But in Goner, he says, you know what the solution is? I'm not going to try anymore. I need you to take him out. Though I'm weak and I'm beaten down, even though I've had this struggle, the ghost of you is close to me, and I need your help. And the bridge is just this incredibly emotional, don't let me be gone, and it's him screaming. Oh, it's amazing. Wow, it's just freaking incredible. I think Screamo music has some power to it, and it's interesting, but the kind of screaming and yelling he does in Goner means so much. It's just those words, the don't let me be gone, don't let me be. It's blood chilling. It is chilling. And then in verse 3, the last lines are, I want to be known by you. Where was I talking about this? Wait a second. Is that a reference to trees? Guys, I want to be known by you. I want to know you. And then in Goner, he says, I want to be known by you. Oh my word, that's totally a reference back to trees. That's him coming right back to that theme. In trees, he's saying, I have this doubt, and I want you to come out and erase the doubt. In Goner, he's saying, I am a Goner because I have this blurry face inside of me. I want you to come out and get rid of him. Whew, that is an incredible connection. I am so glad that you guys suggested Goner and that we were able to figure that out. Wow. So, essentially, that is the meaning of Goner, people. It is him asking God to come and take Blurryface out of him. And now, we have a few minutes here to just kind of chill out together. I'm going to go back through some comments of what you guys have been saying. If you have any questions about 21 Pilots at all over the course of the whole class, or what we're going to do in the future, or anything else, feel free to ask those right now. And let's kind of have our little after party for a second, and we'll see what happens, okay? Anywhere you guys, it's your turn to take this conversation where you want to take it, so feel free. I'm going to go back through some of these comments that you guys have been leaving. Alright. You hit 18K. You deserve so much more credit, honestly. Paris, thank you so much. I really, really am proud of what you guys have enabled me to be able to do here, and how the kind of thing that we've done here as a group, and I think it's really, really cool. So, thank you guys. Well, good luck watching the rest of it. It's not really hard. Okay, you guys are talking about, I think, 13 Reasons Why. The Click made a video which starts with a really soft sound, which is supposed to be The Whisperer leaked, but it starts playing the theme song of Titanic. It's so funny. That is cool. I like The Click. I'm going to be so sad after this ends. Yeah, I am too. Like, this has been such a highlight of my week, guys. But you are super fantastic, and I love you guys, and I've just been having such a good time being here with you. Will we come back when the new album comes out? If we do have a comeback, it will probably be a different class, unfortunately, or it'll just be an open live stream to everybody. This Pop Song Classroom has been a really cool experiment, and I've had so much fun doing it with you guys and talking about it with professors at my school and trying to figure out ways to make this work. And a few things have gone really well. There's been some really good discussion. There were really good entries for the 21 Pilots Pop Song Classroom Scholarship. I really liked reading those. And I think I just said it, but the discussion here has been really good. A few things that have gone wrong that I just have to figure out on my end. One, the live streaming has been a little bit difficult, and I feel really bad about the live streaming going poorly when you guys have spent money on this. And so I am moving soon, and I'll soon have better internet, hopefully, and so that'll probably fix that problem. The other thing is that I want to be able to do this full time, and with the only $2 per thing, the way that I process the money on my website, they actually charge like 40 cents of that just to process the fee. And so it wasn't really possible to make money off of this to the point where I could like pay for the costs of doing the class, which is cool. I've totally loved doing this, and you guys have made this so much worth it that like money really didn't need to be a thing. But I want to be able to do this full time, and so I have to find ways to make it like financially viable so I can support April and myself and be able to do this more often. Like the more money I can make from the Pop Song Professor, the more videos I can make, and I think that's a cool thing. So I'm trying to figure that out, but I think in the future it would probably be like $5 a class or something, or if I had like 1 million subs, we could do $2 and it wouldn't matter. But I don't think that that'll happen for a long time if it does. All right, so that's kind of where the Pop Song Classroom has gone, and it's been just an amazing blessing and an amazing experience. So Tlali's asking, do we graduate now? And yes, you do graduate now. You guys all have your I don't know what degree we should call it, your sick as frick degree in the art of 21 Pilots lyric analyzing. Okay, I need to watch. I identify so much with the first lines of doubt. It reminds me of how I felt when I graduated high school and had to figure out what to do next with my life. Yeah, I feel that. I think God knows about the Holy Spirit. You are all that I've got. No. You guys are hanging out. I'm really glad to see that you guys are making friends with each other. I think that's really cool. You guys are talking about the screams. Yeah, we talked about that. That was crazy. Screams feel like a real fight, if that makes sense. And that does make sense, yeah. Scream has so much power. Have you listened to Save? It's just OMG. Isn't that off of No Fun Intended? If so, I think we need to check that out. 21 Pilots, Inception, and Savory Screams, it's so good. Yes. Yes, I love Save. What's next? So what's next is this class is going to be officially over. Like I just did mention, you guys have your 21 Pilots of Arts. Well, let's say what's a better name for this degree? Yeah, sick as frick degree in the art of 21 Pilot explaining. 21 Pilots lyrics explaining. That's what we're going to call it. I like that. All right. Can we do an episode on No Fun Intended? We kind of mentioned it in the first one. If you go back, there was some references to it. That was pretty cool. All right, any idea what the next class will be on? The next class, it could be on the weekend, honestly. He's pretty deep. But it could just be on meaningful songs in general. I could just go more vague rather than artist-focused. And I probably will take a little bit of a break before the next class. When we come back to it, it'll probably be in June. Just because I need the month of April, well, maybe like mid-May, just because I need the month of April and the month of May, because the school semester is finishing, and so there's a lot going on there. So there's a lot of extra work, but we'll come back to it. All right, what is your favorite, least favorite TOP song? 21 Pilots, Car Radio, and Holding On To You are my two favorites, though I really like Clear. Least favorite? It'd probably be something from Blurryface, honestly, just because they didn't speak to me as much, not that they were bad. But I would say probably Message Man. Partially because he told me to be careful how I explained his lyrics. Gosh darn, I'll be careful. I have a sick as frick degree in 21 Pilots song lyric analyzing too. Let's see. So is this the last class that's covered by the first $2? Yes, Catherine, this is the last class that's covered by the first $2. Yep. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, I wanted to give you guys the surprise gift of, if you want to, you can share the links to this class with friends. Now, don't post it on live social media or something. Don't share it with just anybody, but just with friends who you know will appreciate it. Only people you've met in person, if possible, unless you have a really good friendship with somebody online. But just share it in private messaging. But like I told everybody at the beginning, I have the ability now to use this class, and I've still got it up on my website. People can pay $10 to watch these videos, which I think is I don't know. I probably wouldn't pay $10, but one person already did, so I think that's really cool. I don't know. I'm not trying to down talk what we've done here because it's super powerful, but maybe I'm just kind of a cheapskate. I have to be kind of just starting out with work and stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, so I have the power to do that, and I wanted to give you guys the option to share it with people too, and to kind of use what we've created together, so that it's it's fair and it's kind of representative of how we've worked on this together. Alright. I'm not Mia Misa. You know what? I won't read your question out loud, but you weren't rude at all, and I always like could decide not to ask it if I didn't want, or not to answer it if I didn't want to. So I appreciate you bringing that up, though. Like that, it's not too personal. The only thing I won't tell you guys is how old I am. That is my only secret. I mean, I might have other secrets, but that's the only one that I could imagine you asking. There should be a class in John Bellion. I heavily agree. AR12. Thank you so much for this class. I've had so much fun, I think you're saying, and it was amazing. I loved all your explanations, really taking the time to guide us. It has really connected with me with amazing individuals. That is so awesome. I'm glad you guys have made friends in this regard, too. Can I suggest a song to figure out that is totally un-TOP related? Some Frank Ocean songs? I need to do some Frank Ocean. I heavily agree. This was very fun. I appreciate so much the work you put into this. I think I'll be here bugging y'all for other artists. Cool, cool. I will be praying for you. Thank you so much, Kelly. And do we graduate now? Yes, we talked about that. We did only scratch the surface. You were right. Like, we did not have enough time to get into more. Hooligan Lady K says she'd pay $5. That's super nice of you. That is super cool. Justice, off topic, but I want to reach through the screen and steal some of the books off your shelf. C.S. Lewis, God in the Dock, Gollum voice. We want it, precious. You guys didn't see that coming. Yeah, God in the Dock was over there somewhere. Yeah, I'm surprised you can make that out. No, you're totally right. It's like right there somewhere. Cool. So cool to see how your channel has been growing. Thanks so much. If you guys ever have any suggestions for how you think we can grow it more and reach more people, let me know. Because I would love to do this full time. The most fun class I've ever been a part of. Hopefully you've learned some like English literature stuff too. And not just like just Twin Pot stuff, but hopefully like you've learned some English stuff. So that'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. This has been an amazing thing we have going here. Thank you so much for dedicating this time for us to learn more. Thank you for being here. It would be no good without you guys. What's your degree? Sick as frick. That's all. Yep. All right. I wonder if you can get a couple of interns from the business school or IT to help promote your online biz. You were doing such fab work with your audience. Kelly, that's a fantastic idea. If I could get interns to edit video too. Honestly, editing video is my bane. So if I could... Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Okay, I'm definitely looking into this. Thank you. Clear is so good. Clear is amazing. Can I put this on my resume? You definitely can put this on your resume. I need a degree to print up and put on my wall. You've got it. Right now. Poof. And you know what? You can design it, and if you want to share it to the Microsoft Word document, everybody else can have it too. So, there you go. Yes, oh, for sure, put on my resume. Awesome. I see it every video. Like, oh no, Justice, I'm impressed. How can you even see the book's titles? Hire me, I love editing. Slitali. The bad news is that I don't have money to hire somebody. Oh no. Let's see, hopefully it's not lagging for everyone. Absolutely, I have a Mark background email to kick ideas around. Yeah, Kelly, if you have some ideas, you should definitely hit me up on email. That would be awesome. Justice, if you're into designing for free, if you want to design a diploma for everybody, that would be sick as frick. Satali, you'll work for free. I would feel so bad if you weren't actually an intern. The problem I would have there would be just how to get like the video files to you. But if you... So Talia is designing a certificate too. Oh my goodness, you guys, we're going to have... Why not have 2 certificates? Why can't we have 2 diplomas? So Talia, if you actually do want to edit video, I mean, maybe there's a way we can make that work. Honestly, I think I would feel kind of bad about that, just like with how difficult it would be for you to get the files and stuff. But, I mean, shoot me an email and maybe we can do something. I don't know. I feel like... I would feel bad watching you work for free. Ugh. Okay. It's closer in other videos. What's your favorite album? Also, Kelly, if you have Twitter, can you join our Adults Click group chat? Alright, you work at Liberty, right? Lots of resources. I'm excited for you. Kelly, you're right. I do work at LU, and so there are lots of resources there. I'll have to check that out. And with that, people, we have gotten to the bottom of the chat, so I am going to go ahead and sign off for now. I cannot wait to see the diplomas that a couple of you guys come up with. That is going to be so cool. But thank you guys, everybody, for being a part of this, and I have gotten to know a little bit about each of you, and it's been a wonderful experience. So thank you so much. And as per usual, I have gone over what I said I was going to go over, and that is just a testament to how much I enjoy hanging out with you guys. So, in any case, guys, thank you so much for doing this. I care about all of you. Hit me up on email sometime, Clifford@PopSongProfessor, and follow me on Instagram. That's the best place for us to like connect personally. Messaging over there works really well, and I usually answer it pretty quickly. So, thank you guys. Have an awesome rest of your day.